Are you ready to leave yet? We don't have all day.
What were you actually doing before you picked me up from the airport?
What do you mean?
You gave May a non-answer when she asked why it took you so long to stop by here.
A non-answer? Yeah, because I went to the police station.
And?
And they're still going through the evidence. And when they found out I was May's cousin, they started laughing.
So they think she did it.
Everyone does. So I went to check out the Hathorn house myself. But I never went inside.
The ghost?
What? No. There was some weirdo there who told me the ghost was going to steal my soul. It was totally creepy. And then I found out that everyone in this town believes in ghosts, so I didn't enter.
Well, whatever or whoever it is, there's an explanation behind it. Did the police give you anything? Anything at all?
They told me there's a Judge Danforth in town, and he's going over the particulars of the Hathorn House estate. I found his office, but he kinda never let me.
I know him. Not well, but enough to get through his door and have a conversation.
All right, are we going into town or what?
Sure.
Who could gain something by burning down a house? Insurance claim, maybe?
Possibly. Means, motive, and opportunity. We need to...
And in your experience?
It's usually... This tour sounds interesting.
Don't tell Tegan that's your plan.
It'll give us a good overview of the town.
You mean I want to meet the real witch of Salem?
Yeah, I do. She might know something. I wonder why Tegan doesn't like her.
You don't have to investigate everything, Drew. Olivia steals Tegan's visitors, sounds like. You really want to do the dumb tour?
You don't have to come with me.
Side by side. Gotta be honest, it does sound more fun than the museum.
Huh. Nice to meet you.
Yeah?
Do you mind if I look around the house?
Ugh, you're so weird. I'm done talking, okay?
Rust be gone. Now that's handy. Never know when a bit of stubborn iron oxide will get in the way of investigating. Hiking the Patagonian highlands, outback safari, survival guide for the rainforest of Myanmar. The Perrys have a real taste for adventure. Hiking the Patagonian highlands, outback safari. I probably shouldn't be in May's room without an invitation. The neighborhood looks peaceful from up here. A good night's rest improves memory retention, but it's too early for bed. Huh? Ned! Hi.
Nance, how have you been? Thanks for finally picking up.
Sorry. I've been on a flight.
Busy on another case, huh? You know, you should really enjoy yourself more, Nance. Life's too short to be working all the time.
This isn't work for me. It's fun. Besides, crime doesn't take a vacation. Speaking of which, how's yours?
Ned, come on.
Yeah, 1 second.
Sounds like you're having fun.
You know, standard fare. Nothing too crazy. I miss you, Nance.
I miss you,
Hey, give it back.
too.
Nancy, I'll call you later.
Call you later, Nancy.
Well, that was... yeah.
I think we should head right for the jet.
Sounds good. Let's go meet the judge.
Yeah, let's go.
Visitors! By now you know the story of the witches of Salem. Those poor souls were caught in a time of fear and greed, and they paid the price. They may have died, but witchcraft lives on in Salem.
Oh, this should be interesting.
The world would have you believe witches were not real. I'm not talking about old, ugly women who curse their neighbors and fly on broomsticks. The truth is, witches are real. They have always been real. They are alive and well. They are powerful, carrying the secrets of the world beyond the one we see. Ritual, mystery, magic. Most exist now only in secret, and they may be standing among you even now. It is said that in Salem, a coven of witches settled in recent years, set on revenge for the deaths of the Salem witches. Their ritual, one midnight on Halloween, unleashed the angry spirits of the past.
That's so cool.
Do that. Thank you. Now, if any of you are interested in the real history of the witches of Salem, I provide self-guided tours through some of my favorite locations in town. And perhaps you too will see one of the restless dead.
Thief in Austria used the same kind of stage magic she's using.
Thief? There was a thief? What were you doing there?
Visiting a spooky old castle. You'd have liked it.
Do you regularly fly to Europe for investigations?
Sometimes.
And if you want to learn about being a witch, come forward. Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Me? Never. Well, nothing too bad, I hope.
Did you know that in the Malleus Maleficarum, ginger hair was the sign of a witch? You're my kind of people.
I'm not nearly as talented as you are.
Aw, shucks. You're making me blush. Oh, there it is. Now I'm turning red. You truly are a witch.
So to become a witch, do I need to take a test or get a diploma?
A true witch is not made with pieces of paper. She is born to it and will feel the call. Bureaucracy, we don't need permission. We don't live by the rules. Anyway,
How did you perform that trick?
a witch never reveals her secrets.
A code? I thought bureaucracy and rules were for persecutors.
Although, if you take my self-guided tour, I promise you will learn at least one secret about
How often?
most nights. It gets busy.
How about the night that the happened?
You look a little young to be working for the police.
Oh no, it's nothing like that. We're just curious tourists.
Good. Because I've already spoken with them.
And so, you were here.
I was out of town. Did you girls know that Salem is haunted? There's a ghost here.
Have you lived in Salem?
Born and...
So you know the Perrys?
Of course. Not well. If you were looking for them, Tegan is at the museum. She works there.
Not well. We're staying with Tegan. I figured there was some history, but...
That was a long time back. We don't talk much.
And May?
Yes, I know her too. Not spoken to her for...
But you've heard the rumor.
May is a troubled girl. And sometimes such girls get... I don't think she burned down the Hathorn house, if that's what you're trying to get at. People with mundane minds look for mundane...
Do you really believe some modern witch coven unleashed ghosts on Salem?
About 8 years back, there were rumors of a coven that they performed a ritual to return the dead witches to Salem to seek out their revenge before the witches moved on.
Is there any evidence of some...
Ever since then, ghost sightings have gone through the roof. Salem is now considered the most...
Interesting.
You think it's a coincidence that the former home of the Hathorns was set on fire?
How else could the...
I heard there was not a single living soul in the house when it started burning. Keyword, living. The world is composed of two equal parts, dark and light. The light we see every day. It's the trees, the people, the bird. You can even see it at night. The dark is the unknown, a plane of existence that vibrates just underneath the light. But if you were in a place like Salem, a place where a painful history permeates every surface, every crack, every brick, that's why they say, don't be out past midnight in Salem, because the dark may reach out and take you. Also, did you know that Salem has more ghost sightings than any other city in North America? If you want to learn why.
Talk to you later. Huh. Darn, missed the opening hours. Better luck tomorrow. The figure of a Puritan woman accused of being a witch. These were ordinary people, just like anyone else.
I think we should head right for the judge. What do you...
Maybe check out the witch. I think witches.
What if...
The figure of a Puritan woman. The carefully researched genealogy of several accused witches. Their names...
Hey, sorry about the mess. We're in the middle of installing a big showcase. So what have you seen in town so far?
We decided to do the Real Witches tour.
Oh, you talked to Olivia.
What's with her getup? Witch? Street magician, maybe?
Everyone has to make a living. Is she telling the story about a coven living here in the recent past?
Yeah. Why?
Just bad taste.
Olivia is quite the local character. I hope you don't mind if we do the tour. I want to see more of the town, and finding out a place's old superstitions is kind of a habit I've gotten into. I'm excited to look around the museum.
Of course.
Done. This looks great. Now to find a nice place to put it. Not yet. Not yet.
How's the investigation?
I've got some leads.
Sure.
What's this new showcase about?
Yes, this new showcase is going to be really cool.
But what is it about?
If you come back on Halloween,
Do you have any more information about this?
did the exhibitions manage to spark your interest?
They did. I found this display showing the ancestry of the accused, but it didn't seem fully complete. I was wondering if you had more information.
Well, we do have the upper floor, which is also where I keep most of my accused witches stuff.
Would it be okay for me to go up there? I'd really like getting a better picture of the history of Salem.
Usually we don't allow people up on the second floor. It's restricted. But maybe just this once I can make an exception. You are here to help after all. So if you think it...
Thank you.
I'll open the door. It's actually really cool. The stairs are hidden behind a bookcase.
Whoa, originals? These books must be hundreds of years old. No wonder they're restricted. I hope their information is still open to the public at least. Whoa, original? Someone's a busy bee. Old court protocols, ancestry records. Tegan is really digging deep into the witch trials.
We have the tickets. Let's go see the lame witch of Salem. Oops, I mean real witch.
How's the investigating going? Any progress with May?
So, what's the deal with these pumpkins?
Oh, yeah. I've prepared some pumpkins that visitors can carve and bring with them to place around Salem. Feel free to give it a try if you want. It's really fun and completely free.
Talk to you later. That group is really chanting up a storm. What has them so angry?
Hey, what are you doing?
He's a judge, Deirdre. He's not gonna bite. Hello? Judge Danforth.
Yeah, hello. Ted, is that you?
Ted?
No, Your Honor. My name is Nancy Drew. I think you've spoken with my father.
Nancy Drew? Carson's daughter?
Yes, and I'm with my friend Deirdre Shannon. We're investigating the arson of the Hathorn house.
Ah, yes.
Can we come in?
Well, you see, no, I mean, I'd let you in, but I seem to have been locked in my office and I need some help getting out.
I was hoping we could...
Yes, it's a terrible tragedy for our town, but let's table that
I wanted to talk, the book and...
Yes, Nancy, I would love to talk about it, but I would really love...
Do you know where I could...
Yes, I believe I gave a copy of the key to Alicia Cole as...
Yes, can I help you?
Hi, so sorry to bother you at this hour, but we're here to meet with Judge Danforth, and he seems to be locked inside his office.
He said you might have a key.
Sorry, I gave him my spare. Unbelievable. Does this ever end?
Oh, well then, do you have a paperclip?
Yeah. And if you don't mind me asking, what business do you two have with the judge?
We're helping the judge with a case.
Anything I can assist you with?
Thanks, but I think we got it. No need for a lawyer. At least, not yet.
The diploma gave me away, huh?
Aside from the cold coffee you're still drinking and the deluxe open box of sticky tabs, yeah, you could say I know the type really well.
Nancy Drew, you really are your father's daughter. It's nice to finally meet you.
You know my dad?
Small world. If you need any assistance or more paper clips, feel free to ask.
Hello? I'll come back. Judge Danforth?
What? Alicia said she'd...
Well, I did find a paperclip.
Yeah, sure, fine.
This shouldn't be too much of a challenge.
efficient. How'd you learn to do that, actually?
Online video tutorial.
Someday you have to tell me about your secret life of breaking and entering, Drew. Because you're in danger of being cool. Which, honestly, I just don't like.
Someday.
Ah, those protesters are out there again. You know, this town used to be a quiet place. But it seems lately there's been an element that has infiltrated our community. I have no doubt one of those troublemakers locked my door and threw away the key. Now, Nancy, your father...
Oh, sorry.
Of course you're not. You look nothing like Carson. Did your father ever tell you about the time we won 4th place at the Lake Winnipesaukee Regatta? You see, at the time I had 20/10 vision, so I was the navigator and...
Judge, this is Deirdre Shannon. She's working with me on the case.
Deirdre, you're the one who tried to break down my door.
Breakdown?
Your Honor, that's an exaggeration. I was knocking. Heavily.
Look, I'm really busy dealing with this Hathorn House business. Being a judge is not as simple as, you know.
Well, we just used our free time to unlock your door. So I'm sure you'll be willing to repay us with some answers to our questions. Right?
Yes, of course. What can I help you?
Can you explain to us how you're involved with the Hathorn House?
Well, yes. The house was built by Judge John Hathorn during the 1600s, and it represented the oldest surviving structure from that era. Judge Hathorn, of course, was one of the 3 judges.
Yes, and I'm sure we can read all about the home's history in Salem's museum.
More recently, Francis Tuttle, Judge Hathorn's last direct descendant, lived in a small section of the house while the rest was left to fall into considerable disrepair. She was alone, except for a part-time caregiver, Lauren Holt, who had a bedroom in the carriage house. A few months ago, Francis Tuttle passed away, which left Hathorn House without a legal heir. According to the historical statutes of Salem, after 90 days, the house reverts to public...
I was told that the burning of Hathorn House is suspected to be a case. How did the police come to that conclusion?
The investigation found paint solvent residue on burnt embers, suggesting someone deliberately used an accelerant. Thankfully, Mrs. Tuttle never had to see what became of her.
And what evidence do you have that may
Evidence? Have you ever heard of recidivism? 3 out of 4 criminals in the United States are repeat offenders. And there's only one person in all of Salem who has a history of fire-related crime.
So, there is no evidence.
Not yet, but there will be.
You don't need evidence. She's already been convicted in the court of public opinion.
Is that what she said?
No, I'm saying it.
She has a history with this.
What's May's motive? What does she gain by burning down the Hathorn House?
You'd have to ask her. And while you're at it, you can ask about her alibi. Which, so,
So the Book of a...
yes. And first of all, I'm so glad you're all right. Nasty business. Had I known you were going to be put in harm's way, I would have never called Carson.
I've done plenty of work for my father. Trust me, I can handle myself.
Yes,
So I've already heard some stories, but would you mind giving me your version of why the book is important?
yes. So, Judge Sewell was rumored to keep a ledger of all the accused, intending to publish it to reconcile with their families and clear their names.
Going to Austria for a rumored book seems like a heck of a long shot.
Well, I have been under some pressure from the AW group. AW as in accused witches.
Don't you think it's dangerous throwing around May's name as a suspect?
What do you mean? What are you saying?
From what you've described, there is no evidence against May. Yet you were saying that she did it. As a judge, I think you would be the first to admit that sounds prejudiced.
It is not just me, Miss Drew. There are plenty of people who believe that May is responsible for this crime. It is not prejudice when she is the only likely suspect. I'm not going to have this debate with you. Is there...
So, how did did Frances Tuttle pass away exactly?
The woman was 88 years old.
So they never investigated Lauren Holt.
You need the suspicion of foul play to investigate someone, young lady.
We'd like to speak with her all the same.
She still lives on the estate, although for how much longer we do not know. You can also find her in her shop, Luminous Infusions. She might be willing to...
Talk to you later.
Miss True, before you go, there is something else I need your help with.
You're not locked out of your car, are you?
Oh, no. There was an incident here recently. Someone broke into the evidence room.
Oh. Have you called the police?
Well, no, not yet. I don't think anything was taken. Never mind. I'll call the police. Thank you for your time.
Well, we have the...
Why are there protesters in a small town like this?
Ooh, should we take...
The shops aren't making...
Well,
Talk to you later. This tour sounds...
Welcome on my tour.
Thank you. A specter maybe... The Salem... It's locked. The shops... The specter may be hanging...
The Salem Museum, known formerly as the Town Hall, not only a great resource for the Salem witch trials, it also holds records of...
The road has completely collapsed into the sinkhole.
Oh there, watch your step. In recent years, these maws into the deep unknown have opened. There was once a vast network of tunnels beneath Salem, used by smugglers during the Prohibition era. Most would have you believe that these tunnels are now collapsing. But you have to wonder if there could be something more sinister behind these sudden maws into the underworld.
Ugh.
Uh-huh.
Aw. A leopard print lighter. Why here? The kitchen table has a great view. Huh. Darn, missed the Darn. Bring light into the darkness.
Before you stands Abigail Hathorne, helping the accused witches escape the grasp of her own brother, Judge Hathorne himself. Abigail freed many from their holding cells until the judge caught her in the act and locked her up in a cell deep within the Hathorne house. The statue was given the name Little Liberty in honor of her valiant efforts to free the innocent. Through these woods lies the infamous Hathorne estate. It was common during the Salem witch trials that the lands of the accused were taken and resold for cheap. The judge himself bought many such lands, and on them built his grand estate. The Hathorne house has since come to represent all the wrongs that were inflicted during the trials.
Huh.
These headstones bear names lost to history, but some believe they belong to those sentenced for witchcraft. A condemned witch was forbidden from being buried on consecrated grounds, but many victims were buried by loved ones in secrecy, and some may have found their eternal rest beneath these unmarked graves.
Not yet. There are some more things I'd like to look into before I'm done.
Come on, Drew.
Not yet. Not yet. There are some more.
Come on.
Remains of Salem's most zealous and conniving judge. So lacking in morals was Judge Hathorn that he sentenced innocents to death while claiming the estates of the dead as his own. Unlike the more remorseful Judge Sewell, Hathorn never felt any guilt for his part in the Salem witch trials.
A good night's rest and Huh. What does this mean?
Yeah?